Good morning, dear students. I welcome you all in the online computer class. Today, we are going to learn how to validate forms using JavaScript in KompoZer. Let's start. Children, you have already learned how to create a form using KompoZer. We have created a registration form in KompoZer in Chapter 1. We had given page title as registration form and file name also as registration form.html. We have created following fields in the registration form. Name field like first name, middle name, last name, gender, hobby, address, city, and two buttons, submit button and reset button in the registration form. Now, when the user enters data in the form, he might leave some of the important fields empty or may enter the data in a wrong format or may enter text, that is alphabets, in the numeric data field. In such cases, there must be some type of validation checks. This validation will restrict from making mistakes. When the user enters wrong data or leaves a field empty, an error message should be generated and the form should not be submitted. The most common form of JavaScript application is the client-side script. It is used to validate the data entered in the HTML forms on the client side before sending it to the server. Let us now learn how to write a simple JavaScript for form validation. In KompoZer, create a new file, then save it. Give the page title as JS2. Okay. And file name as js2.html in 12th computer folder. Press save button. Create a new form using form, define form. Give the form name as js2. Action URL as js2.html. Method as post. Okay. Now insert two fields, a name field and a submit button. Form field, text, field name is name. Okay. Enter, submit button, form field, submit button, submit. Field value as submit. Okay. Now press Ctrl S to save the form. Let us execute this file js2.html. For form validation, if the user leaves this name empty and clicks the submit button, then a message should be displayed that asks the user to enter the name. Now go to form, define form. From form property dialog box, click on advanced edit button. From these three tabs, select JavaScript events, attribute. In this attribute option, select on submit button. In value, write return validate form. Opening and closing bracket. At last, press OK button. Meaning of this is, on pressing submit button, it will call a function called validate form. This function validate form we can define in head or body section of HTML. Now open source view. Add the following script. Just now we will be adding the function validate form in the head section. This is a function named validate form. A function is a block of code that performs a particular task. This block of code is written within curly braces. This is the start of the function while this is the end of the function. In our example, inside the function validate form, we have a statement variable var x equals to document dot js2 dot name dot value. Here we declare a variable named x by using var keyword. This variable x is used for storing data. Here variable x is storing value of name field of form js2. Document is an object. This variable can store numbers, string or text. For example, for storing number as 3, we write var x equals to 3. For storing string or text in variable y, we write var y equals to whatever string of text we want to write within double quotation mark. Next statement is the conditional statement if. It checks the condition. If the condition given is true, then the program enters the if block and executes the statement inside it. Here we are checking whether the variable x is kept blank. That is, if x equals to null or x equals to space. That is, whether the value of name field is kept empty or not. This is OR symbol. JavaScript provides an inbuilt function known as alert. If value of name field is empty, that is if x is blank or null, then alert function displays a message. Please enter the name in the alert box. In JavaScript, we have also used a method named focus. This method named focus is used to apply focus on a particular element called name. Thus, after the user gets an alert message calling the focus method, the cursor will be placed inside the element name and that particular element will be highlighted. Here, the name element will be focused. Save this code by pressing Ctrl S. Now let us execute this file in the browser. JS2. Keep the name field empty and press submit button. You will see an alert message as shown in the browser saying that please enter the name. This is the alert box. The alert message is the result of the script that we had written in the source view. Click OK. The focus method applies focus on name element. Thus, after the user gets an alert message calling the focus method, the cursor will be placed inside name element and it will be highlighted like this in black color. This is the validation that we have provided in the form using JavaScript. Children, you might have observed that while filling forms on internet, some fields are marked with red color asterisks. This mark shows that it is a compulsory field which should not be left empty. Using JavaScript, we can check the entry in such fields and provide the alert message to the user. So today we have seen how to validate form using JavaScript. Next time we will learn to validate form with more fields. Thank you. Have a good day.